How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And as always, I appreciate everybody that takes time to watch my videos. Ever since Donald Trump took office in January, a lot of us wondered and speculated who would be Donald Trump's pick for the director of the ATF. A lot of people wanted it to be Brandon Herrera. And I made a video a week or so ago about one of the front runners that Donald Trump was thinking about picking to be the director of the ATF. And that was Dan O'Kelly, who had been part of the ATF for over 20 years and a law enforcement officer. But what sets him aside from other people that have been in the ATF is that he's pro-Second Amendment. And I still think he should be the next director of the ATF. But then a lot of us were surprised when Donald Trump picked FBI Director Kash Patel to be the acting director of the ATF. And there's still a couple of scenarios that could happen. A lot of people are thinking that they will cut back on the ATF and dissolve it into the FBI, and then making Kash Patel not only the FBI director, but also the permanent director of the ATF. And then, of course, Donald Trump could finally name a permanent director of the ATF and it not be Kash Patel. And like I said, I think it should be Dan O'Kelly. Now, we all know that the Democrat Party is in a shambles. They have no leader right now, and they're anti-Trump everything. But of course, we knew that was going to happen because it happened in Trump's first term. So of course, it wouldn't be a surprise when I tell you that more than 80 Democrat lawmakers have sent a letter to President Trump with concerns him naming Kash Patel as the acting director of the ATF. And they said that they actually have grave concerns and that President Trump must name a director that's qualified to oversee our federal gun laws and will work to keep us safe. I guess they're looking for somebody like Stephen Dettelbach. And of course, we definitely don't need anyone like him whatsoever. So let's take a look at the letter that the anti-gun Democrats sent to President Trump. So as you can see, this letter was sent to Donald Trump on March 3rd. As members of the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force, we write you with grave concerns about the elevation of Kash Patel to the position of acting director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF. As you are aware, ATF is the lead enforcement agency responsible for addressing the gun violence epidemic in our country at a time when gun violence is a leading cause of death for children and teenagers in the United States. It is unconscionable that someone without experience fighting crime, responding to mass shootings, or confronting domestic terrorism has been named as ATF's acting director. During your first administration, gun homicides rose by 34%. Since the passage of the Bipartisan Communities Act in June 2022, we have seen a historic reduction in gun violence. Violent crime hit an almost 50-year low, and we've seen the single largest homicide rate drop in recent history. Cracking down on gun traffickers and irresponsible gun dealers, expanding background checks for 18 to 20-year-olds, and expanding extreme risk protection orders is saving lives. These laws are overwhelmingly supported by Americans. ATF plays a critical role in supporting the state and local law enforcement by tracing guns used in crimes, helping with criminal investigations, and providing training on a variety of topics, such as detecting machine gun conversion devices. We need to ensure that this partnership with state and local law enforcement is strengthened and not undermined by a weak leadership and partisan staffing purges. Running ATF is a deadly serious job. Naming an unqualified partisan to oversee the federal gun violence prevention laws is a disservice to the American people and offensive to every American child who has grown up fearful of gun violence in their schools and communities. We urge you to name a qualified director at ATF who faithfully administers laws and keeps Americans safe. Like I said earlier, they would want somebody like Stephen Dettelbach, that if Joe Biden or somebody from his administration said jump, Dettelbach said, yes sir, how high? And let's not forget, before Dettelbach got the position, Biden nominated David Chipman, who was Gifford's senior advisor. You're supposed to have somebody that's bipartisan in the ATF, not somebody that actually worked for a group that pushes gun control. And in the Democrats' ridiculous letter to the president, they said Kash Patel had no experience fighting crime, responding to mass shootings, or confronting domestic terrorism, which makes no freaking sense whatsoever. Because at one time, Kash Patel was a trial attorney in the Department of Justice's National Security Division, as well as he was the senior director of counterterrorism at the National Security Council in Trump's first administration. So like I said, the Democrats' letter saying Kash Patel had no experience in any of those things whatsoever is a complete lie. But of course, that's what the Democrats are known for. And they also said in the letter, Kash Patel was an unqualified partisan. But also the same thing could have been said for Biden's first two picks for the position. Biden and his administration used the ATF to push their anti-gun agenda, closing a record number of FFLs for minor paperwork errors, and most of the time going after law-abiding citizens instead of criminals who are actually breaking the law. And don't forget, they also went after law-abiding citizens who wanted to sell maybe just one gun out of their collection, saying if they were making a profit, they would have to become an FFL. But really none of this matters. It's just them playing to their constituents. As always, I would really like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section, what you think about today's video. And I really do appreciate everybody that supports the channel, from the new subscribers that have subscribed lately, and the people that have been with me for a long time. I really do appreciate it, because after every video that I post, you guys are crushing it by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting those post notifications, and I'm very grateful that you do so. And I invite each and every one of you to come back and watch my next video.